Hey everyone, it's Ryan with Stock Investing and Trading 101. Today I'm making a Beginners Investing 101 course. This is going to be a multi-part course, and today I'm just going to lay the groundwork. We're going to talk about a little bit of psychology, how an investor thinks, and we're going to talk about a lot here, and it's a great video if you are a beginner interested in investing or improving your mindset, building wealth, all of the above. Stick around, and I guarantee you'll be able to get something out of this. So today I'm going to explain to you why it is essential to your financial future that you start to invest now. Using the power of compound interest, anybody can build wealth, no matter how rich or poor you currently are. Today I will explain the process that you can almost guarantee to build wealth over the long term. Your dollar right now is worth more than it will be in 10 years due to inflation, so don't wait, don't push this off. Start today. Before I get any further, I want to say this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just from my personal experience, what worked for me, what's worked for thousands, if not millions, of other people. So the theory is dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging is a strategy which essentially you are investing on a fixed schedule consistently and religiously. For example, if you got paid every single week, dollar cost averaging would be taking 10% of your weekly paycheck and directly investing it into whatever it is that you are investing in. This will allow for compound interest, which will be able to exponentially grow your money over time, and it's a surefire way to make yourself have a good financial future. So this strategy is good because it's simple, consistent, and proven. Using dollar cost averaging, your investment will grow to levels you may have never imagined possible. The younger you start, the better results. Do yourself a favor and quit waiting. By saving 10% of your income consistently, you can develop discipline that is essential for all investing. The power of compound interest will do the rest. By you taking advantage of this, you can become a millionaire. So compound interest is often thought of as interest on interest, and it will make a sum grow at a faster rate than simple interest, which is calculated only on the principal amount. The longer your money is invested and compounding, it will grow at an exponential rate, and too many people think it's not worth it to start investing with a small amount of money, and I'm here saying it's worth it to start with anything because you have to start somewhere, and it's not about the money, it's about the process of saving, sacrifices, and just really saving that money every single paycheck. It's more about that than it is with how much you're starting with or your age. So let's go through the process, and I'll show you guys a few real life examples of compound interest. This is, a mathematic formula. This isn't, my opinion, and it's examples that are very affordable for most people. Should be able to do this. So first, start with a goal in mind and calculate at least 10% of your income. Take that 10% and put it in an investment and let it compound. Continue saving 10% of every dollar you make. No excuses. Make sacrifices, and ideally, you'll actually want to save more than 10%. So if you can save 20%, you really are trying to save the most you can. And you can do that by cutting costs in other places. And it's just something that if you want to follow this strategy, it's something that you need to do is continually invest and dollar cost average into your investment. So it will start small, but if you stay consistent, it will add up faster than you could imagine. If you need to, start a side hustle or try to increase your income over time. Most people increase the amount they make each year as time goes on, either moving up in their job, starting a business, side hustle, whatever it is. The more income that you can make, obviously, the more you'll be able to invest, and the quicker you'll be able to save up, a ton of money. So lastly, let's look at some examples of compound interest investing using $100 per week invested, $250 per week invested, and $400 per week. So up here we have our first example, and this is, a real life example. I think anybody could manage this. So we're starting with $0. We have, nothing invested, starting from nothing. And we're going to save $100 per week, which equals $5,200 per year times, 52 weeks in a year, 100 a week. That's how you get the $5,200 that you are going to invest in year number one. We're going to give it 10 years to grow, so pretty much each week for the next 10 years, you invest $100, and you are earning an interest rate of 8%. Well, after just 10 years, you will have $81,000, almost $81,500, so close to $100,000 just from saving $100 per week, for the next 10 years. It sounds like a lot, but really $100 per week really isn't that much, and you're not doing anything fancy or special. You're just, taking 10% or a small percentage of your income and investing it. And some people might not be making, as much as others. So even if you have to start with $50 per week, whatever you can realistically afford, even if it seems like it's too small and you're never going to get there, just give it time, stay patient, and good things will come. Next, we have an example using $250 per week or $1,000 per month. So if you invested $1,000 per month, after 10 years at an 8% interest rate, you would have over $200,000. So that's with $1,000 about per month. So it's definitely realistic for a lot of people, and I think $200,000 is, a decent amount for some people. I don't think they think that they can ever have that much money, but if you give it time, if you follow the process, and you dollar cost average, and you do it every single week, and you stay focused, and you have that vision, it's totally possible. And I'm a living example, starting from nothing and working my way up. Lastly, we have an example with $400 per week, which might not be realistic for some people, but after 10 years of compounding, you'll have pretty much $1/3 of $1 million. You'll have $325,000. And the more money and the more years that you have, the faster this will compound. So after 20 years, I'm sure you can imagine a lot of these will be millionaires, if not, all of them for sure. So why does this happen? So I just showed you guys the calculator, compounding interest calculator, showing you guys, just simple math, exactly how this process happens. So I'm just going to kind of break it down a little bit to really hammer this home. So year one, in this example, you invest $10,000, a little less than $1,000 per month for the next year. You get a 10% return on your $10,000. You would earn a $1,000 of interest in the past year, bringing your total to $11,000 after year one. So at the start of year two, you have your $11,000 invested, and over the course of year two, you invest another $10,000, ending up with $21,000. Now, if you earned another 10% return, you would get $2,100 in interest on year two, ending your total at $23,100. So that's $3,100 more than you would have had if you didn't invest. And also look at the jump from year one to year two. Year one, you earned $1,000. Year two, you earned $2,100. Can you imagine year three, year four, year 40, year 50? I mean, this is where people can get very wealthy, and it doesn't take any special skills. It doesn't require college degree. Anybody can do this, and it's going to take a lot of sacrifices and a vision, but Anybody can do it. So as this continues, the interest and the total balance will continue to grow exponentially. It will start slow and gradual. You won't notice much, and you might think it's a waste of time. But if you keep going, eventually your balance will begin to get significant and earn multiple thousands of dollars per year in interest or income, which could mean you get $50 to $100 per month in dividends. So this is another point here, is that this is a beginner's investing course. There's different ways to invest. I like to personally invest in stocks or ETFs that pay dividends. So a dividend is a cash payment that gets deposited into your account every month or every 3 months. So that's another pro of investing, is that if you're investing as opposed to having your money sit in a worthless bank account, you will be getting small checks deposited into your account in dividends every few months if you choose to invest in dividends. So just think, if you had an extra $50 to $100 each month flowing in dividends, first of all, that's going to allow you to compound much quicker. But second of all, just think that, after a few years, if you have $50 to $100, just think after 30 years, you might be able to pay all of your bills just off your dividends. You might be able to pay all your bills and more one day. So retiring off dividends is a real thing. It requires a lot of money, and that's where starting young comes into play, saving as much as possible, and staying disciplined. I mean, the younger guys, the younger you can start, really, the results are unbelievable. So this is the theory behind investing. Anyone can do it and achieve unbelievable results they may have never imagined possible. So I just broke down the formula for investing for you guys. I'm going to make another video talking about actually, what to invest in, or what are the options to invest in. But I got some more points here for you guys. So many ways to compound your money are much better than keeping cash in the bank or the closet. So pretty much, if you're holding cash in your bank account or money that is just sitting there, in cash, it's considered dead money. It's almost guaranteed way to never build wealth. So if you're the kind of person who doesn't trust the banks and you keep your money in cash and whatever it is, it's not usually a good idea, and I think it'd be a much better idea to allow your money to grow, to work for you. Your money should be working for you. You've earned it, and it shouldn't just be sitting there growing dust. It should be working all day and night for you, making more money babies and just growing. So these theories have been proven time and time again from people of all backgrounds, colors, income levels, educations. This is a practical way for an average person to get rich using compound interest and dollar cost averaging and investing. So there are different types of investments you can use to compound your money. Each has its own risks and rewards. Common ways to invest are bonds, stocks, and real estate. I'm sure all of you guys have heard about these investment vehicles. All of them can be good ideas. Bonds are the least risky and offer the least return, and are typically held by older investors. In my opinion, if you're under like age 50 or 40 maybe, you should be really looking at stocks and real estate. I prefer stocks. I'm a stock investor, and I talk about my dividend strategy next. So there's different ways to invest, as I explained to you guys. I prefer stocks or real estate. Obviously, you're going to make your own choices, but my preferred way of stock investing is called dividend growth investing. So I'm investing in companies that send me that check every few months called a dividend, and the dividend also grows each year, which further increases the exponential growth and compounding. So if you can imagine a company paying, $1 in dividends on the first year, and then on year two they raise their dividend to $1.05, and every year they raise that dividend a little bit and a little bit, and after these years go by, this dividend will become extremely significant, and your $200 investment might be yielding $50 per year in dividends, because you started young and you kept kept going with it. So here, the younger you start, the higher probability of becoming a millionaire. So this is really because your dollar now is worth more than it is, or more than it will be in 10 years, and that's because of inflation, of course. So investing is not as much is about saving money as much as it's about discipline and sacrifices. So it's not fully about the amount of money or just the fact that you're saving money. It's a lifestyle. Investing, most investors, most millionaires that I've come across and talked to, they are very similar with their spending habits, their discipline. These are disciplined people. They have goals, they have visions, they make sacrifices. After you save a lot of money, you might be able to splurge a little bit. But on your way, on that path to become a millionaire or to build wealth, you need to keep in mind that you're going to have to make sacrifices. You might not be able to, go out on the Friday when you want to. There's going to be sacrifices that come with it, but if you can have that long-term vision and you know that those sacrifices are going to pay off and you'll be able to do anything you want later, uh, it's important to have that vision. So I've seen it time and time again where very well-off people are extremely frugal even after they get rich. They understand, don't need to waste money on unneeded purchases, fancy meals, luxury items. Um, and first of all, being able to save 10% of your income alone is a discipline that most people can't do. It's sad that the majority of families they don't even have $500 of emergency money, and that's mostly due to lack of discipline. Most people aren't educated in this kind of field, where they're not financially educated. They don't know how to save. They don't know how to compound. They haven't had someone explain it to them like this. And it's sad because this kind of thing should be taught to everybody because it doesn't take anything special to do it. So people who are following their clear vision, have a strong discipline, will find ways to save 10% or more. So it kind of irritates me when people say they just can't save 10% because their expenses, their bills are way too much that they just can't save money. And I think, honestly, I think it's a complete cop-out. I think it's an excuse and laziness. And if it is true, then maybe it's time to look at making changes as to what you're spending money on, your bills, what kind of bills you can cut, if you can find a cheaper rental agreement, if you can, find a cheaper car, whatever needs to be done, you really should be doing it, just because it's what you're gonna have to do to get ahead. So anyone can do it, even if you make minimum wage, you can save. It might require eating ramen noodles and living cheap, but eating ramen today to prepare for tomorrow, it might be the best decision that you've really ever made, to be honest with you. So if you, choose to eat ramen for an entire month just to save that extra $200 in groceries each month, for a year, all of a sudden you'll have $2,400 invested. Uh, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's all about sacrifices, guys. I can't say it enough. You have to make sacrifices. It's important to educate yourself on a proper mindset. Rich and poor is not about mindset. It is about mindset and not about dollars. So, uh, just because you're rich or you're poor does when talking about dollars, it doesn't mean anything because you can change your mindset. Your mindset can be adapted and changed into a rich mindset. And I'm going to talk about that later. A list of books that if you read these books, they will change your life, they will change your mindset, guaranteed. So next, have a clear vision and chase that dream every single day. It is natural law that your dream will become reality given long enough time. So pretty much if you have this vision that you chase every single day, it's guaranteed, it's natural law that that dream will become a reality. It happens to everyone who has that vision, chases that dream. Uh, it's just gonna happen, especially with a financial goal. Some people might have a dream to go to the NBA, and it might not happen because whatever reason. But when it comes to a financial goal and a vision financially, anything is possible. So next I have a few kind of tips and pointers, and then I have a bunch of books that I'm going to talk to you guys about and give you guys a little bit of homework going into our next class. So there is no secret formula to get rich, no guru, luck, magic, any random event happening that all of a sudden you're going to not have to worry about money. That is never going to happen. And honestly, it sounds silly, but a lot of people wait their entire lives making excuses, waiting for this magic day to happen, and that day never happens in a lot of times. So don't be that person who knows that you should be doing something else and not doing it. Know that you could be doing something else to better your life and you're not doing it because life is short, guys. So when it comes to investing, that's all there is to it. It's about saving a percentage of your income consistently and letting it compound. That is the secret sauce right there. Every single time you earn a dollar, you take a dime of it and you put it in something that's going to allow it to grow. Every single dollar you make, start a side hustle, you can save more, and all of a sudden, given 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, you'll find yourself to become wealthy. Mix in some good education from online or books, and you will become unstoppable. Remember, this is a marathon, and you got to have sacrifice, persistence, vision, and mindset. So this isn't, a sprint. Every single day you can work on having new ideas, learning more, doing more work on your mindset and your mind, body, and soul. Working out is important. I've noticed that, people that work out every day are uh, just clear-headed, stronger, and goal. It's just a good idea, in my opinion. Many people have shaped into a poor mindset, and they don't even realize it. So educate, educate, educate. Here I have some books. If you read these books are some of the best books that I've ever read, especially when it comes to finances and mindset. So the first one, this is a quick and easy read, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Next is Outwitting the Devil. This is how to adjust your mindset to have a amazing mindset. Next we have Think and Grow Rich. This is probably one of my favorites, along with Rich Dad Poor Dad on this list. If you're gonna read, one or two books, read Rich Dad Poor Dad and Think and Grow Rich. Next we have The Educated Investor. That's a good one. That's one of Warren Buffett's favorites. We have 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class. There's actually a video series on YouTube where the author of this book, who is a coach for a mental toughness coach for some of the best athletes in the world, he presents this. It's from like 10 years ago, but that stuff is gold. That is an amazing video series, and it doesn't take that much time to watch. Next, we have Richest Man in Babylon, Dividend Growth Machine. If you're interested in learning about my investment strategy, read Dividend Growth Machine. And lastly, we have The Wealthy Barber. This is a way for, it's just a barber who, he gets rich from following that investing strategy. That's all you have to do. A barber can do it, a cook can do it, a janitor, if you're working at McDonald's, anybody can do it. It's just a matter of starting and doing it. So to close, my homework for you guys is to make your financial vision. You're going to need to think of an exact dollar amount that you want to save and in what period of time. After you figure that out, you have to figure out how you're going to get there. You're going to get there by saving X amount of money every single month and letting it grow at this rate. Figure out all the details. Part of having a vision isn't just about knowing and dreaming what you want. It's actually important to figure out how you're going to get it precisely. There's no loose ends. It should be, everything should be exactly, how you're going to do it. So that's what I got today, guys. I hope this, helps some people. I'm gonna do a part two where I talk more about the actual investing strategies, the real estate stocks, dividend stocks, those kind of things, and bonds. But today, this is the groundwork. It starts with mindset, sacrifice, and knowing how to do it, which I explained, dollar cost averaging, and saving 10% of your income at least. So thanks for watching the video, guys. If you got this far in the video, make sure to drop a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for part 2. Thanks.